Hello, good evening. My name is Srikanth Victory. I've written a blog today on LinkedIn, and as part of this video, I want to give a quick demo how we can try to do hybrid AI search. Quickly, if you want to show up my LinkedIn article. So this is my LinkedIn blog article, Why Enterprise AIs Fall Short and How Hybrid AI Search Connects Precision with the Intelligence. Back in those days, if you remember, we used to have a Solar Search and Elasticsearch and even SharePoint Enterprise Search. I still remember vividly back in those days, we used to implement a SharePoint Enterprise Search where you can bring all the documents from multiple repositories. So now with this hybrid search using hybrid AI search, we can try to search with the intent. In other words, we can it's going to be more contextual meaning search. Back in those days, we'll try to search with the precision. Now it's going to be a little bit more beyond, even with the contextual search. Plus, we can try to do the keyword search together. So this is what I want to give a demo. So I've written a program. I just want to give a quick demo over there. Let me kind of share my screen, my program. So this is a code. So I just want to give a quick overview what has been written. It's a little bit more overwhelming. I'll try to make it very simplified to explain it. So this is going to be ingestion, and then you can see that one ingestion part, and then let's kind of go there one by one. And you can see retrieval, and you can see generation, and then within the source ingestion part, you could see embedder, Excel ingest, record manager, vector store. So I'll try to explain you how I've done this step-by-step process. If you can go to my blog, I've written exactly the step-by-step what I've done it here. You can see the step one, ingest pipeline, and then this could be orchestrating the flow, document loader, chunking, and then you can say metadata, enrichment, record manager, and then embedding and into the vector store. And then finally, we can start querying it. Okay, so in other words, what I'm trying to do here is I'm going to load an Excel sheet. So I'm having an Excel sheet here with all the data here. You could see these are the columns are there. These are the documents where I'm having ID, article ID, title, and etc. etc. I do have all the details. And say, for example, I've written a few document, let's say user access denied after login, and SSL login failure. In other words, the user is going to search for this, and we're trying to make it more meaningful and intent search. Okay, the intent of right true meaning of that one. We don't want to give exactly the same line. We can try to type our own natural language question. Okay, so like natural language query. So that's how the purpose of this one. You could see all this code. As I previously mentioned, ingestion is nothing but it's going to be the pipeline, orchestration pipeline, where we are trying to ingest the Excel document. Step one, we are loading the document. Once we load the document, and we are going to store it to this two parts. One, we are going to store it in the SQLite. The other one is we are going to store it in the vector store. So I just want to let you know why we want to do SQLite. The SQLite is nothing but record manager, where it stores all the anything which is going into the vector store. It's getting stored. In other words, we are deleting some chunk, we are going to appending some chunk, or appending data, or deleting data, and everything can be managed. And also access control. What does it mean? Access control is nothing but there are times we want to have the data only for guest users, and or we want to use it only for certain information. We want to show it up to public. So all this stuff we could do, we could try to manage as part of the access control. And also in case you want to have certain documents, when you try to upload it, you want to make it inactive, all can be managed through the SQLite. And beyond that access control, that can also be used for the BM25 keyword search. In other words, the precision of the keyword, you can also use it SQLite. We are going to use something called the vector database, vector store. We are going to use it open source pgvector. The pgvector is going to be an extension to the Postgres database. Where you're going to create the Postgres database, it's going to be created as part of the Docker container. So I already created the Docker container. You can see here, I created three different Docker container. So this is a hybrid search pgvector, where I'm going to create the pgvectors vector store. We're going to create as part of this container. So if you want to quickly go through that one, how I create all the container, and I can have some of the comments. So you can have a little bit later for that. I kept all these comments for Andy. So when you can go there, so I go here, let me kind of stop it here. I'm running the program again. So here, these are the, when you do the Docker PS, these are the containers. Remember, whatever I'm having here, these three containers are going to be visible here. So you can see one of them hybrid search. I'm using other purpose pgvector, rag demo pgvector. So we are going to use it for the hybrid search pgvector. So if I go there again, the command here is when I can go and run all the tables within the hybrid search vector. I already written a command. Okay, so in the interest of time, I quickly run this command. When I go here, I can run it. Oops, did I copy properly or not? So go there. So you can see that one the command. So this is the table called rag documents. This is the one I created. This is nothing but vector store table or vector table. That's nothing but rag documents. You are more interested to see that one, hey, what is there inside the rag documents? How many records are there? As I said, right, I'm going to create this data. In other words, I'm going to load this data into the rag documents. Okay, you can see there are about 370 plus records are there, and some of them are duplicates. So I'm going to do it. In other words, we can also go this way to get onto the rag. So if you go there, look at this one, I'm doing the command. Oh my God, why I'm not copying properly? So I'm going to copy here and then paste here. So now I'm getting into the inside the Docker container. And then if I want to see again the same thing, I can do it here. Or multiple ways we can do that one, the query we can run it. And again, you can see that one rag documents is a table. Can you see that one is a Postgres table? Okay. So which is supporting for the vector store. So now I'm going to see how many records are there. So if you can go there, 370 records. In other words, the Excel sheet already loaded this data and it got all the data, all the records are getting loaded. So you might be wondering 376 are there, and some of them, you look at that one, it's having empty rows are there, empty rows are skipped, plus the header row is has been skipped. Okay, so total is at 370. So now let's go there. I quit on this one, and then I want to find out the SQLite. So I'm using SQLite 3, so already downloaded. I'm going to run it. How many records are there in SQLite? Okay, the SQLite, as I mentioned previously, SQLite is used for the record manager. The record manager is going to help to manage access control and record keeping. Plus, right, we can also do the keyword search. If you're strictly going to use the semantic search is nothing but the true meaning, intent search or semantic search, all one and the same. If you're going to use that, then we don't need the SQLite. If you try to use for multi-purpose record keeping and access control plus keyword search, BM25 keyword search is nothing but it's exact keyword search. So all of them you want to use it, then you have to use the SQLite. Look at that one. That is also having a 370 records. So that's the purpose of that one. So now, right, I showed you pgvector. I'm using it as part of the Postgres that I already showed you that I created as part of the Docker container. And then SQLite, where I'm storing it, the records, all the chunks, right? I created called chunks is a table where I'm storing everything. Sounds good? So now I'm going to walk through the flow of the code. App.py, this is a main code, and I do have everything, all the connections over there. I put a lot of comments inside that one. So I'm going to start from the main. I'm using another one. I want to show you Streamlit. The Streamlit is nothing but I want to create some user interface where we can upload the Excel document. So now I go there. So this is the main. You could see that one. So Streamlit, let me run it. What it is that Streamlit. Before that, I can show you here. So you can install the Streamlit. That's going to help you to create the user interface. I'm going to run it again. The code from there, app.py. So it's going to automatically launching this. So if you can look at it, I'm going to upload the document here. And you can see all the left side sidebar and all the configuration. I'm using OpenAI API. So I'm going to upload the document. Once I upload this document here, so internal repository datasets. In reality, you can have multiple datasets, you can upload it. I'm loading only one document. Look at this one. You can also load more document here. If I want to do that one, I can even load more document. So in the interest of time and also for this demo purpose, I'm using only one. I can also clear the old record. Remember, since I've done it multiple times for this demo, I prepared for this and I've been working for the last 3 years. So if you want, I can delete and then I can upload again. So once I upload here, so I want to walk through after uploading. Okay, once I go here, The first few steps is all going to be the UI screen. Okay, so first one is going to be loading the app configuration, all the path, what model I'm using, API model, and I'm trying to use the port. All of them is going to be the configuration. And then the second one is going to run the UI part, right? Just we already launched it, the 1B. And then two, this left side you could see all the document got loaded. Left side you can see all the sidebar, what file I got loaded, and all the details are going to be there. And then step three, right, all, up to step six is going to be all sidebar data. So if you look at that one 2B, reset of sidebar, so you can see all the roles. You want to use a user role. Remember, this is the one SQLite I mentioned about it. You want to use analyst, admin, or public. You can try to, whatever role you can give it. And then I want a hybrid search. I can choose here hybrid search. And you can see the top K. What does that mean is when you try to do search, as I said, we are going to have keyword search plus hybrid search. Combined together, results are going to come. So how many results I want to come? I want to get up to 8 or 10. I can change anything I want it. So you can set that one. And then you can see the Postgres. Underneath, you can see all the document. RAG documents is nothing but, as I mentioned to you, this vector store name. This is a table name. 370 records I already ingested. Already cleared it, truncated, and then I ingested is 370 records. So now you can see this 2B2. What is next one is going to be the step 3. You can see all the retries and everything underneath. This is called all the details are here. And then step 4, you can see creating all the tables are getting created. In case I want to create all the pgvector table, this is where it's getting created automatically. Okay, you remember I already created everything here. You can create, this is helping to create all the tables. And then step 5 is going to give the object summary. This object summary is nothing but this is a summary. You can see the summary extension vector. You remember you could see that one extension vector should appear under extension. This is a step 5. It's writing all the sidebar. And then my fun part is going to be the underneath. Step 6, it's going to again drawing all the tabs. These 3 tabs are there. So the first tab is going to ingest the data. The second tab is going to be searching the data. So let's come to the search part, right? That's where the charm is there. And then step 7 or 6A, what is that? Okay, yeah, step 6. Okay, here. So this is a one data is getting loaded. So data frame, pandas data frame is getting created, converted automatically from the Excel sheet. Okay, and then we are going to pass that to the SQLite record manager. You remember, any data is getting loaded, the chunks are going to be it's in other words, it's going to be tracked. Chunk ID, embed ID, and everything is getting tracked here. Here the pgvector store. So pgvector store, the one I showed you, the RAG documents, everything is getting created here, pgvector. Make embedder. This is a very important thing. Make embedder means using the API, in other words, open AI. Okay, you can use any model. I can use a Gemini. You can use it OpenAI. Using the OpenAI, I'm using one of the text embedding model. I think this model is already mentioned here. Embedding 3. That is that model somewhere I mentioned here. Okay, text embedding 3. So using that model, okay, I'm trying to create the embedding data. Okay, somewhere is there. If not, I can show you. I can show you inside the code. So I just want to save my time. Yeah, look at this one. Text embedding 3 small. So a lot of models are there. This is a embedding. What does that mean? It's going to be numerical representation for every chunk of the data. What do you mean chunk of the data? When you're having a large PDF document or Excel document or could be any document, it's going to be creating multiple chunks. And then for each chunk is going to be the embedding ID. In our case, if you look at the Excel sheet, we do have 370 records are there. For each one, it is going to be a separate record, one chunk. In other words, we're going to have 370 chunks are getting created. Make embedder. Okay, it's going to create a 370 embedding ID is there. So once you created, all of them are combined together. This is a very important one. It's going to be the connector, everything together. So I'm passing the data here, data frame, I'm passing it, configuration, I'm passing it, record manager, SQLite, I'm passing it. And then it is going to create the vector store, I'm passing it, embedding object. In other words, all the embedding IDs are passing it, logging, I'm passing it. And then whether I want to clear the SQL or clear the PG. Remember, whatever I gave you the selection here, from the screen, the selection, which if I choose these two, I'm passing all of them to this ingest Excel data frame. So this is going to be combining together. What it does, that one is in just Excel data frame is, it is creating the vector store. One record is getting created, SQLite is getting created, record is getting created. So it's creating both of them. And then also managing SQLite is managing all the record keeping. So that's how it does all of them. And then once that is done, okay, that's a major part is done. Okay, this is what we have done so far. Let's go here, hybrid search, hybrid rack. So now I'm going to do SSO. Okay, what are the ways to solve, what are the troubleshooting techniques? This is the intent search here, or troubleshooting techniques for SSO login issues. When I try to do that one, so retrieve answer, this is going to be the query finding. It goes there. So this is going to take that one, make query understanding. Once it understands a query understanding, it's going to get the retriever. So you can go for each one of them. I can go for the function, because look at that one. I do have a retriever is one of the function here, and you can retrieval. So you can try to have the access, hybrid search, everything. It's going to retrieve it, and it's going to get the results back. So if you can look at that one, look at the retrieval. So I'm getting these many records. I'm getting it. Remember, I've given 8. 8 is a max. In other words, there are if it's based on the ranking, it's going to come back that one. So 3 parts it does. And answers, look at that one. It's giving the short answer, I'm getting it. And then citation. So it's going to give all the records where it's coming from. You remember the chunk UID is there, it's created, and then all the document where it's located. So everything is there, LinkedIn.com. So it's giving all the URL given to that, and I'm getting all the details here. So this is going to be the amazing. So it does the 3 parts. I want to kind of summarize this hybrid search. One, it does the vector search. The vector search is basically based on the cosine distance model, the cosine similarity search. So that's going to be the key. That's where the AI is coming to the picture. It's based on the intent. Okay, what is the intent of the user? What is trying to do, or what is trying to search for it? The user is trying to search for it. So the true meaning of that particular query. So that's number one. And then BM25 keyword search, that is coming from SQLite. That is not coming from the pgvector. Pgvector is an extension to the Postgres that is primarily for the vector search or semantic search. The next one is going to be the BM25. And then once you get all of them, and then it's going to be combined, both the results to be there. The combined results are going to be the RFF. RRF means reciprocal rank fusion. In other words, it's a ranking it. Once you get both the results from the keyword search and vector search, it's a ranking up to 8. How 8? Why 8? Because when I chose here, the 8 is the top rank. So, and then you're going to get the 8. So combine all 3 together, we are getting it. In other words, this is a hybrid search is nothing but cosine distance ordering for vectors, BM25 for keywords coming from SQLite, and reciprocal rank fusion to combine rank result list. So that's how the results are coming here. If you can go there, this is how the results are going to come show here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. This is going to be the ordering. In other words, the number 1 is going to be the best results. You can see that one when you click here, you can go for that particular link, we can go there. So that's how it works, the hybrid search. So this hybrid AI search, this is going to be the new modernized way, and it's going to come with the more precision results. Instead of doing a random data search or partial search, it does like a more precision of using a keyword search and also vector store. So this is one of the revolutionary, and it's being used widely in many companies. They started using it, and I would encourage you to start using this hybrid search for your enterprise. In case you have any questions how to do it, or in case you want to have my code, I already uploaded in my GitHub. I can try to share the code for you in case you want to play with my code. And so I'll remove my environment variables that won't be there. Environment variables are nothing but OpenAI or Gemini. I'm having the API key. I'll remove and give it to you. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. I hope it helps you. And I would encourage you to read my blog and try to add your comments, and appreciate that one. I also put that one, the flow diagram of that works. Whatever I explained to you, the flow diagram is there. I put this one very passionately. I hope it helps you. Thank you very much. Bye. Take care.